This is our supervisor. He's keeping an eye, just making sure that, you know, everything's going to plan. Aren't you, bud? Switch is temporarily wired in just for setup. Hey! Ow! Goddamn park brake. Alright, here we are at the next bit. So as you can see, I have got a panel cut out. So this is our opposite to our floor shape. Still not gelling with it 100%. I think it needs a couple of wee modifications just to align it and make it look a little bit prettier. So my idea at the moment is that I would love to bring this entire thing down, but of course, this is now getting in the way. So I've got an idea that I want to play with and see if it works. So I'm going to go and try and do a test piece, bring this all the way down, and see if I can do something a bit fancy in this bottom panel. So let's try and see if I can do that. 680. All right, 680. Pre-apologies for the light flicker. LED life. I think it was a number 1. Yep, number 1 curve. Him. So I'm going to mark out my 680. See if my idea will work. Alright. Where to my template tape? Right in front of my goddamn face. Alright. Let's see if my theory works. Well, that says to me that my theory works. That's awesome. Alright, that's pretty cool. Let's go see if that's gonna work. And that is gonna do exactly what I wanted it to. That is awesome. Sick. So that means now I can get this bit lower down, and then that's going to then butt into that 45, or that's the theory at least. Awesome. That's going to bring my whole panel down, give me a little bit more bass flow through, and it's going to look pretty sick. I just came up with a bit of an idea for these side panels as well, to try and follow through from the floor upwards. So I'll get him back out again. From here, what I'm thinking is, because we've got this line coming up and it's not straight, that obviously angles out this way a bit. So I might try and follow this. Oh, if I can get the camera in the right spot. Oh. So from here, I then follow out on that angle up to here, which will then be sort of an extra insert onto here. It's just going to give us that same sort of accentuation like we got on that floor panel on the backboard, but just coming from here. So that should be pretty cool. All right, wicked. I am super happy that that worked. So I am going to get this thing apart and see if I can get that same thing done on that panel. I think I'll drop him first and then see where we're at. Mint. So here I am making another one of these. So this is going to be just a copy of this. So it's going to basically end up being my master for when I start making all my acrylics and stuff. So I'll get him rough cut and then flushed onto him, and we good. Well, Mr. Joshy is working on this thing. All the thing.
Make it strong.
Yes, do the strong. Yes. Yes.
A lot of the things are almost made to spec.
Mm-hmm. 45. Go hard. Yeah, baby. That look good. That look very good. And a couple of tiny little spots that I just need a little, but actually I might even give that another go. Yeah, why not? Quick second round, and that has cleaned that up. Lovely. Win. All right. So I'll start getting a little bit cut off this, lower it down, see where we're at. And we're cooking with gas. Oh yeah. That's more like it. And at least now from back here, we can see that entire trim line and the reverse into it. Sweet. That's win. So now you can see where this is sitting, and obviously this is overlapping that. So I've got to get that 45 across this edge here, and that should look pretty sick. So, bring it. I love it when a plan comes together. Ready? Here we go. Oh yeah. And look at this. There's my gradual little 45. Comes across that entire back edge. So now the bonus is that because I've dropped that entire panel down, we stand back here, you can see all of that trim, which is lovely. And of course, that is the reverse of him, which is that shape there. Let's see if anyone spots that. But that is absolutely wicked. So the next thing is I'm actually pretty bloody happy with how that's sitting now. So I'm gonna start working out side panels, start working out crossover boxes for the side panels, and go from there. Woo, baby. That's some more progress. So as you can see, I've redone these little side panels with a bit more of an accent. So now you can tell that line now follows all the way up and through.
It has a bit of an accent.
It has the accent. Bippity boppity.
Sorry, I didn't write.
Goddamn Italians. Jeez. So, that's the cool thing now, that if you look at the boot, it now basically is almost an inverse from that to the back wall. So as you can see, that panel there, this one comes out, that one goes in. This is the following line that runs through there. And it almost would think that that panel could almost flip up into that back panel. So, it's very cool. I'm actually pretty happy with that. So I've started getting something worked out for the side panel. And of course, this shape that we've been flowing with, well, let's have a look at our crossovers. Oh, what's the chances of that? That's convenience. So of course, I've now got a side panel opening worked out. You can see I've kept the radius across the top and then followed our same similar line, so it's going to look like the crossover, but a similar version of these. Or that one. That's a bit upside down, but yes, you get the idea. So that's cool. Now that I've got that bit worked out, I am going to recopy these onto some 12mm instead of 9mm, so I can keep that as my template, and then that way as well, all of my 45s will be the same depth. So that's gonna be sweet. So back on and make some more mess. That's the pair of them rough cut out of some 12mm. So I'll take my original, get them templated, or template taped, and over to ye old router to get these flushed up. So now I'll put my 45s on it while I've got that piece in the middle.
Yep.
And the side panels are sort of
Oh, because you can flip and do both sides.
correct. I've done this plenty of times before. Made 2 panels that are supposed to be mirrored, and then 45'd them on the same side.
Ha! Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I learned a lesson, and I do it like this. Because if you stick the 2 pieces together and route them 45 both of them at the same time, you've got no chance of getting them backwards.
And you're saving a lot of time too.
And you're saving time.
That's killer.
Yeah.
That's killer.
Bring it on! Yeah, baby. That's what I talk about. Oh yeah.
Oh, dang!
Hey. So the crossover is in. It's just sitting there at the moment, but you can see that that shape is going to work, which is sweet. So I've obviously done the copy over to here. I've just basically template taped the box on for now, just to have a look, but that is looking pretty sweet. So I've still got my acrylic bits to make up and a few other little bits and pieces, but other than that, she's looking pretty boss. Sick. Hells to the yeah. I have some, yes, acrylic, not poly. Unfortunately, I could not get my hands on poly, so acrylic it is. I'm just gonna have to take my time and make sure I don't break it. I've got that marked out, give myself a little bit of gap. So now that is ready for me to rough cut the shape out, and I'll get a bearing loaded up, and we can get this thing trimmed. Instead of masking up the entire piece, which the piece actually does still have obviously some covering on it, I am wrapping up the base of the jigsaw in masking tape just to save any scratchy. Not that it'll matter all that much because this is all going to get sanded, all the acrylic anyway, but you know what? One extra layer of protection. Nothing wrong with a bit of protection. Anyway. Alright, drop it down one bearing and go again. Yeah, boy! Nice. Lovely. Alright, that's our 45 routed on. It will need a very little bit of a clean up, just a rub over, but it's looking quite good. It's looking quite good. I like it. Smoothing this out helps, but the other side of it as well is that that part that we sand will now show up even more once we backlight it. So you'll just get a nice, smooth, diffused, non-spotty looking strip, which should be good because spotty LEDs are spotty ass. That made 0 sense, Jay, but you know what? It sounded good in my brain. See what it looks like on the real one, I guess. Woo! That is banger. It's got a little bit of a gap there, but that means once we've got our vinyl trimmed over this, that will fill that gap perfectly. I like it. That is going to work just nicely. going to get out of the light a little bit. That. Hey, look at that. That's going to be awesome. Win. Alright, so we've got that acrylic routed up and attached to the panel now. So that one is now sitting into place, as you can see. So I've still got to get the next one done, obviously for the bottom one, and then we've got to do the side panels. I know it's all just sort of placed in here for now, but I am definitely liking the way that acrylic is looking. That is going to light up like a boss, like an absolute boss. We've actually started working out materials, so we're going to stick to our 3. Yeah, don't worry about crossover sitting in there. We have decided on our 3 materials, so black vinyl, which basically this entire area up to that line here is going to end up as all black vinyl. Same with obviously the opposite corner over here. But then through the center, we've got some nice charcoal suede, which will basically be this panel and this main panel here. So that'll follow obviously up and through the center. And then we've got our carbon fiber. So let's have a quick stroll over and look at our 3 materials. Let's see, we've got our black vinyl, gray suede, suede, and our carbon fiber. So that, I think, is going to make a very good little matchup. I think that's going to work very well in the boot. And because we've got the suede, which is a bit of a matte, this has got a bit of a matte finish to it. And obviously the car is very matte with a few little sort of glossy highlights. So the vinyl itself should go with that a little bit because it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. The suede will work with that, and then carbon fiber because, well, carbon fiber. So thanks again for watching. We'll be back again next week for a bit more of this. We are actually making some really good strides. Fabrication work is now pretty close to complete, actually. The only other thing fab-wise I've got to do is I've got to jump in the front and actually start making up a center console too. But as for the boot, it's almost done. A few more bits of acrylic and a few screws and some glue and some lights, and yeah, maybe there's a little bit more to go. We'll make it happen. But come back next time. Should be back next week. Like and subscribe. Follow the channel. All the above. All the standard stuff. It helps me out. But other than that, see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya. Helps if you peel the template tape. Backing off, Jay. It'll stick better that way. Derp.